Okay, great. So before I start, I review things for Schiffer Books for Red Feather, and I got your deck because it was something I wanted. They sent it to me, um, so I was kind of excited, and I just wanted to kind of connect and just, I think it's been out for what, about 10 years? 5 years, yeah. Yeah, I just thought I'd just try and just some questions I had, and just people on my YouTube channel, they were interested in the deck too, so I thought, well, let's see how it goes. So, um, okay, so I'm Johnny Gray. I'm Tarot Oculus on YouTube, and I do tarot reviews, and I just do other stuff. Just some. I'm also an artist myself and a librarian. So, and you live in Pennsylvania? So you did the tarot deck as your master's thesis? Uh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Had you had any exposure to tarot before you started? Oh, wow. Great. Hmm. 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 Well, yeah, that's what really fascinates me because I have quite a few tarot decks, and it's the artwork is so different and nuanced, even between similar decks. The Marseille decks, or um, some of the other decks that are, like the Crowley Toth, or just the Rider Waite, and people's take on them. It can be very different, and some people bring their own sort of intuition to the deck that makes sense to them. So I actually have your deck. This is the book with it. Um, yeah. um, so you have a whole mythology that you created with this deck. The journey of, is it Eon and Iode or Iode? Iode. So yeah, so you created this whole mythology and their journey. Um, what inspired you to create that and put that in the tarot? Hmm. 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 Yeah. Hmm. You also included a fifth suit in the deck, the spirit suit. What made you do that? Well, yeah, the pause. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
be nice to have a suit that just embodied the tensions and interactions between the elements on its own.
Hmm.
So that within a reading, maybe if there is some kind of a conflict going on, or there's a push and pull between your spiritual nature and your more pragmatic nature, that pops up in the card and makes it fit. So that's why.
One of the things that really struck me first was the be, do, think, feel, change sort of mantra that is there, and sort of is the deck itself. What made you kind of come up with that?
Well, when I've so much research when it comes to the elements, the prime
Hmm.
elements, the platonic solids, and seeing what they represent and how they can be equated to the human experience. I think of fire as being the energy of the spirit. It's like your battery. So that was just be. That's being, existing.
Hmm.
And then earth is doing. So since we exist, because we exist, we feel the urge to act, to do something in this life. And then while we're doing that, we start to contemplate what we're doing. We think about what we're doing. We rationalize, we justify it, we ask ourselves questions. That's the thinking part. And then, as a result of these things we've done, we reflect upon them and we have emotional reactions to them. So there's the feel part. And then once we've gone through that gamut and we've taken a moment to pause and sort of process everything, that's when the change occurs. That's when we are being sort of altered by whatever experiences we've had, and then we move forward. And tarot is very much about change. So that's why I use those words as a mantra for each.
Um, Going into the artwork, you're self-taught, but you also took art classes, in higher education, right?
Well, I mean, I've been drawing since I could hold a crayon, and I
Yeah.
had family members that were artists, but I also went on to college.
Yeah.
I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design,
Hmm.
and Goddard College, where I did the parenting. So yeah, I am an educated artist and an educator at the same
Yes.
time.
I noticed some of your YouTube videos you were using Photoshop, and I use Photoshop usually for photo editing and manipulation rather than drawing. But that's a fine art. That program that's a beast. But I've been using it since, wow, maybe 2010. I've seen it really change, and it's a great tool for artists.
I've been using it since 1997.
Wow.
It's called Adobe Photo Deluxe. So I've
Yeah.
seen all the different iterations of it. I'm actually the project I'm doing right now. I'm doing it in CS4, which is super outdated compared to
That.
CS6, which is what I was teaching in those YouTube
Hmm.
videos.
Yeah, I learned with CS3, and then I missed the old Adobe where it was like not cloud based. You had it on your computer, but that's another topic. Your artwork actually, the that really drew me to it. It actually has this quality of being inspired by comic books, and the colors are so jewel tone. It's out there, and it's each card is like its own tableau of the story. Um, what what did you use to create the deck as far as materials?
I used illustration board, Bainbridge cold press, so it's nice and um, soft to the touch, but it has a little bit of a tooth to it, so cold medium. I did the drawings in graphite with these old-fashioned number two pencils that my grandfather, who was an artist, had
Hmm.
a whole bunch of them. They had these like flat erasers and they had this really nice graphite feel to them. I love them, so I had to work with them, and I ended up going through his entire stash
Wow.
over the course of creating the 116 images for the deck. Uh, then I did layers of acrylic, so there's an acrylic underpaint there that I have a process I use starting with values and building to a local color, and I finished with hit artist pens. They're ink pens that are water soluble to ink the line work to create that distinction and separation between planes,
Hmm.
and with the color pencils lay on top of acrylic really nicely. So it's a mixed media process, and it was one that I kind of changed and developed
Hmm.
over the course of the making all the cards. Eventually, I actually started using white gel pens to reinforce areas of
Oh.
highlights so that they would be brighter and there'd be more separation.
Hmm. I did pick up the Prismacolors, the pencils. I'm really familiar with those. But wow, that's I didn't realize that it was that many kind of layers to the cards and to the. How big is the original artwork?
Each one of those is 15 by 20. They're like
Oh
this.
wow.
Quite a bit.
Were you happy with the whole production value once it was all
I
done?
think Shipper did a magnificent job.
Okay.
And what's awesome about it is it was kind of serendipitous that they asked me, "Oh, do you want it to be gloss or matte?" And I was like, "Well, I like shiny stuff. I like bright, bold colors. I'm a more is more kind of guy. I always have been. We grew up in the '80s. Everything was in your face and crazy."
Hmm.
Um, I said, "Yeah, I'll go with glossy." And they accidentally ended up printing the matte. And I
Yeah.
said, "This is so much better
Huh.
because you can see the detail
Yeah.
in the
I
font." So it just worked out.
A lot of people that read tarot, the glossiness kind of takes away, I think, because the cards have a tendency to chip around the edges. They smudge so easily. And I think the matte finish is amazing. It's very tactile, and it makes you notice the cards. They kind of grip you a bit, and I really like that. I actually have not read with the deck. I've flipped through the cards and kind of felt them and looked at the images. And the images are just you can't just look at them once. There's just so much there. You have to look at them again and again and again. Then you'll notice like an armadillo, or you'll notice something in the background. And I think that is the cards are almost perfect for like meditation, for taking one
That's what
card.
really did. I'm glad you got
Yeah,
that.
for taking one card and just kind of that's my card today, and I'm going to really look at that. Um, that was yeah, that really resonated with me. And the fact that you had correspondences with the moon and the planets and the zodiac with the cards, it's really that really helps the reader, experienced and inexperienced, with interpreting the cards. Um, let's see. So you've been into tarot for a while. Do you have any favorite decks that you always go back to?
I haven't read in a long time because I've been really focused on this other project I've been doing.
Hmm.
But the ones that I loved to use, of all the ones that I collected, were the Barbara Walker Tarot for
Oh
sure.
yes,
I love the style of it because
yeah,
it has
I
this
got it here.
very nice.
This is at work, and I have the deck here.
I love it
Yeah.
because of the way that she set it up so that there's mythological characters that are recognizable. So
Yes.
again, it goes back to the whole story thing. I can look at the picture, recognize the character, and associate it with their story, and it gives the card a richer meaning. So that's why I like hers, and it's kind of similar to the Rider
Hmm.
Waite Smith in the sense
Yeah.
that it has that real simple tapestry, like stained glass look to it, like
Hmm.
simple line work.
Hmm.
So yeah, I love that one. The Crawley Thought deck is one of my favorites as well because I when I first started getting into tarot, it was all about the Wade Smith deck, and then I found this Crawley Thought deck, which is so different, it's so
Yeah.
expressive, it's so off the wall. So that was the one that made me go, tarot can really be whatever.
Hmm.
You don't have to stick with tradition just because there's people out there who will poo-poo you for not doing that. You can go beyond that, and that's where that kind of started from. So those are probably my top two.
Yeah, the Barbara Walker deck, it really is a feminist deck. I mean, the 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 female form is featured completely throughout it. Even the male figures kind of look female, and the back is the triangle, which is the symbol of womanhood, femininity. It's just a great deck, and I wish it was bigger actually because it's so tiny, little tiny deck, but it's very portable. Um, let's see. Do you have any artists that inspire you?
Oh man, so
I
many.
do.
um, Today, we'll say Hieronymus Bosch
Okay.
because talking about the tarot, talking about symbolism, he was
Hmm.
heavy on that. All the Flemish artists were at the time of the Renaissance, and his work in particular, like you can take one of his paintings and chop it up into seven, you do
Hmm.
squares, and it would be a tarot deck. Actually, I think I used to have the Bosch tarot deck. It was inspired by his work, but not done by him.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I just love the detail, the symbolism, the storytelling involved in this book. And then maybe if I were to think of someone more contemporary, if I'm talking about comic book artists, Jim Lee was a comic book artist I
Hmm.
grew up with and loved, and his style is so like old school, but at the same time has the detail of some of the newer styles. So I guess there's two for me.
Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. So let's see. Did I miss anything? Uh, oh, I missed a question. So the magician card in the deck, you included four of them, and they are let's see. You got there was the alchemist, the philosopher, the I'm forgetting
The apothecary and the
apothec
scientist.
the scientist. Yes. So why did you decide on four?
Well, I wanted each one of them to correspond to an element.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of them is a magician of that particular elemental
Mm-hmm.
they would be. Um, Also, the original probably thought that came with three variations on the magician, which is why I thought, oh, I should do four. Since he did three, I'll do four. And I like the idea of having them, and then the story itself. Um, Whenever you get into the pause to it, I think in your review, which I just watched, by the way, thank you very much. I appreciate your review. It was great.
Oh, you're welcome.
Um, the page that you opened to that had um, Keon and I was sitting in the front and then the children around them in the field. If you look in the distance behind them, there's a rock. There's four figures sitting on a rock in the background. Who are actually the teenage versions of what the
Oh,
children were.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
And they are also, yeah, it's like way back there on the
Yeah,
right.
they're right there.
Those are the teenage versions of these four children. And then eventually they become the four magicians. So each one of them is
Ah,
one of the elemental powers, which controls that particular element. So
I see that now. I can see the symbols on their chest, the elemental symbols. Wow. See, each time you look at a picture, it's like, wow. There's so much there, the depth, the story, and there's so much dynamic quality to what's going on. And it does have a very um, comic book feel, like action. You get that. Um, the one thing that I heard a lot about this deck was every other card has a penis on it. Lots of nudity.
what? Penis?
Yeah, that is true. Um, they're all flaccid except really for this one on this page where he's creating life. Um, the do they did you I guess do does Eon and Io do they mirror Adam and Eve?
Adam and Eve is Anami, the
Hmm.
yin and yang.
Yes.
Again, I was hesitant to go the binary route because the thing is, tarot's traditions are so old that they are very binary. They're always associated with certain zodiological
Hmm.
symbols that are associated with the male and the female, the receptive and the aggressive. But the thing is, I made a point to, at times, make the male look more submissive, and the female look more, bulky, and so that there was this sort of, I guess, asexuality to it while not denying the sexuality of it. I thought it would have been cowardly of me to not draw the genitalia and just have them be eunuchs because
Hmm.
I've done that before and I'm dissatisfied. So I said to myself, I'm just going to be bold and go for it because it's just a penis, it's just a vagina. Who cares? We all have something, and
Hmm.
if you're offended by that, maybe you need to rethink being human.
That's true.
And do something else. So that's why I went that way. Plus, I minored in figure drawings.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, I
definitely.
wanted to focus on drawing people.
Yeah, that's also one of the hardest things to do is draw people because we all have this idea of what they look like, and when we put it on paper, we're very critical of ourselves. Like that is not right,
Absolutely.
foreshadowing and everything. When I took figure study in college, we'd have models, and some models are better than others as far as um, you know being expressive and really it conveying in your work. But I appreciate figure drawing. It's complicated. Um, is this you on the cover?
Yeah, that's me.
I thought so. I thought that it's a lot of artists. I like the medieval Scapini deck. That is one of my favorites. And he put himself in one of the cards as the artist. I think he's Seven of Pentacles. I could be wrong, but it's him. It's his, which I thought was really neat. That it's the artist should do that. It's sort of put yourself in there because it's your creation.
Yeah,
It's
it's my artwork. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't want to like pretend that it wasn't.
yeah.
So yeah, putting my face on there as self-aggrandizing as it may be, I think that's important. That's like what I do when I'm allowing people. Oh no, I'm a wizard. I'm the captain of my own ship. It's funny. It's tongue in cheek, but it's also necessary for me to be honest about what I'm doing.
Yeah. Um, I think that's all the questions I had. It just I just wanted to know more about the deck and kind of put it out there. I think it's an amazing deck. You did such a great job with it.
I appreciate it.
I mean, it looks like it was hard work. It really does. I mean, blood,
That's
sweat,
what
and
I'm going
tears.
for. Artists love them, right?
Yeah. I mean, not just 78 cards, but plus that. Plus, you have a whole book that goes with it that was not easy to do. And, the whole mythology that was created. So there's so many different parts to it. I mean, you're definitely a storyteller with the whole book and the deck, and it's great. Um,
Well,
it's
hopefully, Shipper likes the next thing I'm going to be sending to you
oh,
in the next year,
ah,
because this thing is actually about 3 times as big as that tarot deck. I've been working on it for 20 years.
really?
It's my heart, and there's definitely sprinklings of tarot stuff in there if you
Okay.
really look for it. But it's a straight up story. It's actually a fully illustrated novel.
Oh wow.
There's at least one illustration for every page of text. So it's insane, and I've been working on it like crazy, especially now that we've both been quarantined. I've been
Mm-hmm.
a lot done, and I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, life doesn't get in the way, that I'll be done with it by March, and
Oh,
then I can send it to Shipper, and hopefully they love it and want to do it, because I find it very fortuitous that, and I don't know how long their symbol has been, the red feather,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't notice it until maybe about a year and a half ago. The red feather is a huge symbol in the book for them.
Wow.
So hopefully they'll see that and be like, oh, it's serendipity. We should definitely publish this guy's second book. Um,
Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing the interview. I appreciate your time
yeah, thank you, John.
and talking with you. It's great, and I do look forward to the new project and working with this deck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, if you do some readings with it, just drop me a line. Tell me what you think. I love
Sure.
hearing what people think.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Okay.
very much.
So you have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.